Hi everybody, my name is Colin MacInnis, and today I'm going to be presenting what might change, but as co-host. So a university society management application with some tied-in features to it as well. So just yesterday I was at St. FX. I was there for the X-Ring ceremony. Had a lot of fun. And I noticed that a lot of universities I go to, there's very special kind of emotion in the air. It's this weird vibe you can't really describe. There's just a lot more energy, and it's social atmospheres. And I wondered, how was that created? And I really felt it was brought on through societies and groups of students coming together. So these societies, they experience this problem where every year their team changes. They might have one really good year. The next year they have completely new people on, and usually it's fourth year students taking on the higher roles. They want to get involved, and then by the time they graduate, there's new people coming in, and with exams and everything at the end of the year, there's no proper transition as to here's how you do my role. So there's a lot of who was in charge of this last year. You know, you might be going through an event not knowing how it was planned, or you're just trying to keep up the power or reinvent the wheel. Just trying to get by, right? And there's not really a chance to move forward. And then there's little obstacles like this that get in the way. So CoHost will help people manage their societies and connect them with other societies so that they can even co-host events, and in a way that will allow them to go to the next step. Yeah, so I'd like to show you a demo now. So I made this variation of it. It's not really showing up how I want it to. See if I can change that. What is it?
Nope. I don't.
Yeah, there we go. So this is how it was, and I really don't like this. I spent a lot of time doing it, and I wasn't very happy with it. And I was driving home from MacInnis and said, how can I change this, because it was driving me nuts. So last night, pulled out the laptop, completely gutted it, started all over, and the result is now this. So, unleash your society on the right. That's if you're a society you want to sign up. If you want to check out events, you can click on here. You have all the schools in the province, and I was talking with AJ earlier, as it grows, you might need to start narrowing it down by province or whatever, right? So the idea of this is that people can see events without actually having to have an account, and it lets societies get into it and manage. So here's your registration. Sign up. Can you guys see all that? Cool. Yeah, so add event. There's all the information on the sides that you need. This is as far as I got to it, from last night to now. And then I threw this Explore part up here. So this would be like your messages from other societies that say, hey, let's co-host an event, your team chat, guides, reports, like everything that you could get in there helps make that transition. I might move this Explore, but I'm not really a fan of where it is. But if you go into it, this would just be constantly populating or be populated with the most recent events that are coming up. You could filter through by your program, your school, or your mood. I thought that'd be a good way, because like around exam times, like they literally put on events for everything at universities, like dog days, just to make people happier if they're stressed out about exams and stuff. So I thought that'd be a cool feature if you want to party, mood, party. If you want to just have a movie night, you know?
Puppies.
Yeah. And yeah, that's my product, or my social network that's in the works.
Dog days? Do they just bring in like really cute puppies?
They tell everybody in the community to bring in their animals, and they just have like all these dogs in one place.
They
And
should do
that's-
that with the SPCA and then get dogs.
Yeah.
I read something recently on Dal, the computer science building was doing that. They're bringing puppies in.
Yeah, it's supposed to like lift your spirits and
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
So
awesome.
that's cool.
Yeah, I like it. Can you go back to the first page of your new design though?
Yep. It's not responsive.
No, but it's
Oops.
No.
So like,
I think you got to be a little bit more clear with the left side. I like how it says "Unleash your society" there, but when I see check out events like that, I'm thinking check out all events.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe if the school was up above events, it would be like check out school events and choose your school.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, like society events or something like that. Because
But then you'd have to make it a side say unleash your sign up society.
The other thing is the sign up in the top right. You don't need it.
True.
Yeah, it's true. I think the login is all I would need here.
so yeah, just a way to make that a little more clear. That's the one thing that kind of jumped out at me.
Okay.
But
I think before we had me and Heather were talking about it earlier. We were trying to figure out like what kind of words would really speak to the young people and stuff, you know. But
it's a first revision.
we were like,
Sign up again.
what is it?
Can you click on sign up again?
And I have I'm having a little issue with CSS and these versus them. Like it's all a different color.
So this was another thing we talked about before. Are the only profiles on this on CoHost society profiles, or do you have a profile, a personal profile that you can be a member of that society?
I would like to set it up so that it's just a society, because if I graduate, like I prefer not to have an account on this and be getting any sort of media or anything pertaining to it. But then if you could go into like contact information, like if you go into members on the society page, you could see who was in charge last year, maybe even get in touch with them.
Yeah, but if you can't get in touch with them, that's a whole can of worms right there, right?
Yeah.
And so how, like, let's say you and I and Matt are all in the same society. We're in the IT society.
Okay.
So then we all have the same username and the same password to get into this thing.
Yeah, there would be like a group, like the group society, like you would come up like your username might be the society name and then the password that you guys all agree on.
Okay, so then we asked Mike to join us.
Yep.
You know, because Mike seems like a really cool guy with metric bar. We're really into him.
Change your password.
But like a week in, Mike's a dick.
It's a dick.
Turns out he like slept with your sister, and he's just not really. He's not into this whole thing. Mike's got your username and your password now. Or if he's not contributing, or like later on down the road, where does the pass off? Because people are fluid through these societies, right? Like, you know, you're not always going to have. So I just think one of the ways of mitigating that is you've got an administrator of a society profile.
Yeah.
Everybody, it might be like the most bare bones user profile possible. They don't have to have their individual pictures. They just got like a name and a password and some permissions. And then whoever is the admin on any given year for that society.
Kind of like a Facebook page, the roles that they have. You guys ever manage Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know,
exactly what.
Right, yeah.
And
that'd be
Without
convenient.
like all of that back end like
Yeah,
profile stuff.
yeah.
This stuff's already been done. Or you can even use Facebook to log people in.
Yeah, that'd
Right.
be convenient.
I'm thinking exactly like the Slack sign up flow. Like the group makes the sign up, and then members of the group are like invited to join. So like society administrator makes the group.
and if you don't want to be a
That's
part
everyone
of that group anymore, you just back out of the group, and there's another administrator that's going to take.
I like how
your place.
Facebook does it too, though. Like, it'd be neat if you could. I don't know which one would be more convenient because I'm thinking of how Facebook does it. Like, wait, you just click one button and you say like add new member, and then you give them like whatever role, right?
But Facebook
Yeah.
already has the profiles.
Yeah.
Which is the challenge.
Yeah.
Like Slack, you just get an email, and it's like you're invited just by your email, and then you can go and join and make a username to join the group.
And I was saying earlier too that the event side of this could be powered by it too. You know.
Yeah.
That'd be
Really, really cool.
And so that would also help mitigate the whole idea of like if 5 of us are on.
Yeah.
If we're on co-host at the same time,
Yeah.
you know, who's making changes and where and who's doing what. So like if I'm deciding that I'm gonna like change some of the profile details and like Matt is on the site too, like upon new click, you know, where is that? So I just think
So maybe a thing like more like Slack would be useful. That'd probably, and then you could do the team chat.
and then as your personal profile, then you can go and you can start looking at other, you know, you can look at other clubs, you can do that sort of thing. If you want to join another club, maybe
Yeah,
Ask
because
for-
then if you're
ask-
on multiple clubs,
ask
right?
for permission
Yeah.
to get accepted
Yeah.
into it.
Just understand the nature of your users as well. You're not pitching users who are going to be using this system for a decade or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? They're only going to have a finite
2 years.
life of maybe about 4 years. So maybe you might want to schedule it in such a way that they're receiving only notifications if they're a member of a group, and then when they leave the group, it's no harm, no foul to them.
I'm confused. I thought that, so say I was like the society leader of last year.
Yeah.
I thought I would stay on it so that if people had questions, they could contact me.
I thought that would be like another section. Like if you wanted to, like you would opt into that kind of deal. So like, I know like the team I worked with, they don't want anything to do with last year's society, but I still like to get in touch with them. So like before I left, like I gave them a contact folder, and the people who agreed to staying in like the network kind of deal, we marked down like I gave my email, I gave my phone number. I was like, text me,
Yeah, maybe you could have it as like an opt-out.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it should be opt-out for both parties, where like people can kick you out of the group, or
Yeah.
you can
If
just,
co-hosts
You'd
would
have to do
send
it that way.
reminders at the end of like a graduate school year type of thing, or like if those years were kind of defined. So if
Yeah.
your school year was going to be September to April or something, and then there's a message that comes across. It's like, hey guys, school year is gonna end. Hope you're planning a big party. You should ask, or you should opt in as mentorship. Like,
yeah,
so now you're, you click in, you've spent a year with them, you click in, and now you're Colin MacInnis __ 365, like a little mentor tag.
Yeah,
And
like
you're in
maybe
there,
an
but you
alumni
lost all the
section.
permissions for changing stuff. It's just now you're able to.
It's a good idea.
kind of like I like
Yeah.
that idea a lot.
You're flying
Like that
along.
would be like because like I've gone to past people to be like, can you help me with a guest speaker for this event, or can we do this? But like I was there for 4 years. Most people are only there for 1 to 2. Like they're not on the society board from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
So like they don't really like. I was able to go a little bit further as far as reaching out to people, right? But
The other thing you could do, if this were your startup, would be to take this as an opportunity to help guide university societies on how they should handle like succession planning and like holiday planning, that sort of thing. So it would just be, that as soon as they sign in, you've got that like first pop up that's gonna like, it's like 1 month to Halloween, and here might be some suggestions. So they can X out if they want to.
Yeah.
Suggestions.
Yeah.
But then you've got coming up in February or March. It's like you should start to think about the next year of people coming up. Here's some ways to start recruitment.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
because that's
Good way
like
to
a
do
big
content
pain.
marketing.
What is it?
Good way to do content marketing. Like,
Yeah.
If you
yeah.
have information about that, you can tweet it out, and that'll bring traffic back to your site.
No, like I just know personally, like this is a huge pain in the butt, and I'd go into like my second year on the society. We like the person who was in charge completely was like, all right, we're doing everything completely new from fresh. I'm like, well, you could never follow through on a 5-year plan.
There's a lot of societies.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What if you just archived events and stuff like that?
That's what I mean. They could see how the profit
Like,
of
yeah,
them,
even
right?
just like on a monthly thing, like
Actually,
There's a lot of
the start
societies
of
that
every
probably
month, you
use
just
this
get a
kind of
thing
help.
like, hey, last year we did this, this, and this in the month of November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be like another pop up thing.
And you're like, oh, well, we had that huge party last year. We should do that again.
yeah, and like
then
and
kind of build, like promote the society getting better from year to year.
And if you went to like say you went to guides or whatever, right? And then there's event history in guides, and then you could see like the net profit would be highlighted at the bottom of each guide, and then you could be like, all right, like
Like, oh, this was a good event. Let's
yeah,
do it
like
again.
whatever ones are green.
Well, this one sucked. Let's not
You
do
know what
that
I mean?
again.
Like,
Yeah.
Mike?
When remember when Morgan was describing the next phase of Mercado and how the technical debt that they have now, because every field is so specific to whatever they imagined 7 years ago, so they're going to try to make those fields, you can just fill them in for whatever, right? I just wonder how much of this part, the managing all the things that you were describing about society, could be done by Mercado 2.0. Do you know what I mean?
Probably a fair bit. The only thing I'm kind of I put some of the stuff in there because the student union, I don't know how CBU is, but I say in fact, I was talking to Brian about this, like, they have so much friggin' paperwork, and they're, like, constantly stepping on you if you're society, like, they want you to put on events, but they, like, are really, really, really breathing down your neck the whole entire way. So, like, if they, knowing them, like, I don't know, I haven't figured out a revenue model or anything, but, like, Mercado, like, that would be great if I can, whatever would simplify things, but I mean, like, it would need to get the student unions to kind of give a little bit of leverage and be like, okay, we're willing to, try this out for their.
Okay, so then, I mean, are you, like, if Mercado 2.0 could do this part, Colin, are you going to build that, or are you going to go suggest to Darren that you could sell Mercado 2.0 to universities in addition to festivals? And if that were the case, so then I'm just trying to really get clear on what exactly this thing does and what it does uniquely. So, like, because the landing page is, it almost suggests there's like two completely different apps, right? And when you were talking about it at the beginning, I thought that the event side was more important. You can almost just shrink this to the point that, like, really you want people to be consuming the events, going to the events, getting the information about the events. Oh, hey, by the way, because people come to this website to check out events, you should put your event here, so, click here to sign up or whatever. But now the way you're talking about it, it's almost like this is the more important part of it, and it's two different things.
It is. I do want to focus on the event part of it, but the value as, like, me seeing and having organized events and stuff, and that's, like, me coming in with my own opinion and stuff, like, this is where I would get the big value from it if I were the one organizing these events. Because I looked for, like, stuff like this for specifically universities, and I cannot find anything on Google. I thought something like this would be there, but, yeah, I guess there is two different routes. Like, the way I kind of see it is just, if you make an event, we're just going to list it, like, in a console. If you keep appending these divs with the event information and just keep having them feed every time an event is made in a certain area. I didn't think that would be, like, a huge, it'd just be, like, an added benefit. Where, like, this is more of the value where people would use it, but then, like, if students can use it too, which is where my scope goes two ways, but.
You have a knack for finding tricky problems. I say that in a good way.
Yeah.
I think using, like, if this is the society management platform, that's what it does. I think it should do that best. If somebody goes to the domain name, they shouldn't have to choose which app they're using. I agree with Mike.
So if you solve that problem first, and then you're able to build that out and say, oh, we can really easily make an event promotions layer on this app because of the the data that we're collecting, then great. But just do that.
Just do
first.
one for
Yeah.
okay.
Because you're like creating events, you're planning events, so like sharing an event is so simple after that.
Yeah.
You already have all the data in the app.
You can
It's
just
like,
and it'd be cool. Like I
deploy.
was talking to a buddy about it yesterday, and he was saying if you could get your media scheduling right in, like almost like on this day, this day, this day at this time, and like just kind of highlights different days of the week that you want to press out on social media or whatnot.
Yeah, so I mean, the Mercado thing, like maybe Mercado's way too big to solve this problem, but similar to what I was saying to Jake earlier, like if Mercado Festival is about managing festivals for the festival manager, and then you could build something on top of that, right? You could bootstrap off of Mercado, right? Kind of suggesting for you to like build the Mercado of universities.
Yeah.
Keep it tight, keep it small, and then you can scope that out to the event promotion stuff that bootstraps off of this.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's value in this, or?
Oh yeah, as a member of tons of societies in
Yeah.
university and the editor of the Caper Times, and there's lots of stuff that during my university time we could have used something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it applies to anything that like happens on like conferences, events, like anything that iterates. Like, of course, that's Mercado's plan is to just conquer like events, but
Also,
I mean, if you focus on universities, like Mercado's gonna try and like hit the big ones, and
Yeah.
like it's just hard for a company like Mercado to have an application. For example, like they want to build an application where you can generate your own templates. A university student wouldn't know how to build those templates.
Yeah.
It's not that easy.
Yeah, so you would be providing a turnkey solution for universities
Right.
specifically.
And I thought of two. Sorry, you want?
No, I was just gonna say, as far as revenue model goes, you've got 1 big year of sales.
Yeah.
You're good for like a decade before anybody in the student union financials department really realizes that they're getting blood out year after year. Like,
Yeah.
It happens all the time at universities. Like one company, they'll do a subscription thing, and you just say, well, cancel after 1 year renewal, and then they just let that go because student unions turn around every year, right?
Yeah.
The whole
They're
staff
wanting
thing.
to do it.
So 1 hard push sales year, maybe 2, and you're good for it.
The another thing too, like it would take more effort, but if you go to an event and go to list an event or add an event, and then if you could just choose a category from a drop-down menu, and then say you choose like something as specific as a golf tournament, like I was talking about last week, then there would be a template for specifically golf tournaments at your university come up, or you know what I mean, like the club prices, how much it's going to be the cart, what cab company to call, you know. To have that in there, it'd be a lot. Like that'd be an extra step, but I feel like it'd be convenient, or you
Yeah,
could
it's a
just
bit.
keep it in the templates, right? But yeah, cool. Thank you.